What happens when you make a bold move in your life? I'm sure that there has been some time in your life where you have stretched yourself beyond your comfort level and taken a bold action. And what happens when you do that? It's totally worth it, right? There's a risk, or it feels like a risk. But in my experience, if we don't take those bold moves, make those bold moves, that life stays kind of flat, right? And whatever it is, whether it's, however it is that we're pushing ourselves, that's what it takes to get to the next level of being in our lives the way that we want to. But what I have noticed, at least for me, and I've seen it in other people as well, is that we make a bold move, it's going well, it does stretch us, and then there's like a reverberation, right? When we stretch ourselves in that way, all the things that have kept us from stretching ourselves are going to come up, right? It's like our ego, our ego body is saying, no, I'm the one in charge. Go back to being here. I just can't handle this, whatever it is, but it's a reverberation, or, just some way that something comes up against the bold move that you've made. And what I want to say today is that it's totally natural. It doesn't mean that something has gone terribly wrong. It doesn't mean that it was a bad idea to make that move, but that's what might come in, right? And in reality, you're on the right track when those voices and that reverberation starts happening. When the doubt comes in, it's kind of a good sign. And I know that's hard to hear. And when we're in the middle of that reverberation, when we're in the middle of that self-doubt for those moments, it's not easy to remember that we're on the right track. But I wholeheartedly believe that that is what happens. And it's part of what's challenging about making that bold move. And I think somewhere in us, we know, right? We know that there's going to be this reverberation when we make this move, when we be bolder and bigger. And sometimes it takes a lot to get to the place of being able to make the leap, to be able to make that move. And so we do work and get there, and we do it, and boom, even if it's like, ooh, it worked out and it's good and it's going well, and then maybe something happens, kind of starts to crash in on you, or, this is just part of the process. It's part of the process. And I will relate it here to being an athlete. And, what I've noticed over time is that doing physical work and pushing yourself, you can understand it conceptually, but experiencing the physical and experiencing the emotional are separate things, and they're separate muscles, so to speak, that you have to train. But I will still share this concept, which is that as an athlete, when I've wanted to go to the next level in my sport, which for many, many, many years has been inline speed skating. When I was ready to really up level my game, I had to make bold moves. And you push yourself just in a, let's say in a natural day of training. You're doing your sport. For me, it's skating, and I'm skating. And in order to get better and make gains, I need to push my muscles a bit, right? So I push my muscles, they give me what I want from them. I push really hard. I get the most out of them that I can. Maybe there's a little burn, maybe, but I push through, and it's totally worth it. I feel really good after my workout. I've gone a little faster than I did the day before. And then in a day or two, I'm going to feel that in my muscles. That's the reverberation, right? I'm going to feel my muscles are going to be heavier. They're going to be tired. They might be sore. And if I've really pushed, they might be really sore. That's the reverberation, and it's part of the process. And it's part of the process that I have to go through to make my muscles stronger, to get faster, right? And that's like a really simplified way. Now, if you are not used to doing that, if you haven't trained for doing that, you're going to back off of it. And it takes time. I didn't start doing that just off the bat, like pushing as hard as I know how to push now. I had to build up, right? I had to build some things up, my technique and my power and my strength. That all came over time. And it came from deciding to push myself a little bit more, making those gains, getting some reverberation, and then recovering from that, and then going to the next level. And that's what happens in life. We try and do and decide that we want to expand, right? We want to expand our capabilities. We want to know that we can do more than what we're doing. And and so we make these decisions to push ourselves, which is a bold move. And it takes us out of our comfort zone. And that is right on track. So next time you are making any bold moves in your life, know that one, it's a long-term game. Yeah. Big picture, right? Like it's going to take time and you'll make incremental changes. Two, reverberation and self-doubt and questioning is part of the process. And if you're having that, you're on track. If you're not feeling a little shake or fear or doubt, then it's not a big, bold move, right? And three, you are just fine just as you are. And you can decide to make bold moves or not, and you are beautiful and amazing human being, and you get to decide how and when to push yourself if it makes sense for you in life. So just know that I am holding energy for you to make big moves if that's what your life is calling for, and to support you if that's what's needed as well to get through that reverberation. That is it for today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day and a beautiful week, and I will see you next time. Peace and love.